Okay, welcome everybody to the Fear versus Greed podcast. Today we have an AMA with Josh from Hare Finance. Let's start with a mic check. Can everybody in the audience hear us? If somebody could respond in the Hare AMA chat box and just give us a confirmation. Lola, can you hear us fine? Okay, ASB says we can hear. Thank you guys. And Josh, can we get a mic check from you?
Yep. How do I sound? Can you hear me?
Sound perfectly clear. All right, great.
Great.
Yeah, I just sent out another tweet, made an announcement. I've got the another announcement starting from clicking the start event button, and oh, looks like a couple people rolling in now. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
So I've seen Josh around for some time. You are a member of the Tomb Raiders group, correct?
Yeah.
Are you the
So,
founder of that group or the owner?
yeah, I'm the founder.
Oh
So I
wow.
started Tomb Raiders. Well, it's not called Tomb Raiders anymore. Now it's called Raiders of DeFi. But because of so many different DeFi projects, we decided to remove Tomb from the name. There's just so many other things happening. But yeah, started with Tomb. And I believe it was back in end of January that we started that.
Oh,
Me
are you
just
saying
the
that that was a reference to Tomb, like Tomb Forks?
Yeah, Tomb
I
Forks. That's
didn't
why it
know
was
that.
started.
I thought it was an homage to Laura Croft.
Well, it is, and it's both. Yeah, that's
Oh,
why.
okay.
Yeah, I was just driving home one day and I was thinking, oh man, into all these Tomb Forks, and what's a good name for a server? Tomb Raiders. There you go. So that's how that came about. And then I just had a bunch of my DGen friends jump into the server, and then from there we were just hopping into one from one fork to another, trying to find ways to make money. And it was a ton of fun back then, especially before a lot of the crap happened. In the days since some of the lots of big dumpage. But yeah, lots of fun in that server as well.
Who,
And I highly recommend anyone join when they have time.
yeah, yeah. Raiders of DeFi is definitely one of the best. I call it an alpha group. I don't know if that's what you would call it. Um,
Yeah. It's basically a place for people to come in and learn about the different forks, get alpha, for developers to talk to investors, and there's a little bit of everything. We have a very tightly knit community. Feels like a family, I would say. I try to interact as much as I can with everyone. I'm kind of busy at times, but I try to jump into general chat and give my insights when I have them. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a fun time.
I wonder what let me see. Raiders. I'm looking on my spreadsheet and seeing what score I gave you guys. Okay. I wanted to make sure that you guys weren't rated too low. You guys have a 3.8, which is like 99th percentile. I'm not sure what you
For
could.
what?
I have a gut
Oh, on your
instinct rating.
sheet?
Yeah, I have a gut instinct rating score, and I mean, I update them occasionally, like if something major happens. But if it's a 3.8, it's been that way for a long time. And so, see, I spot these gems, man. My gut is always right. I mean, that was months ago that I rated you guys, and you guys are way better than you were then. And
Well, that's nice to hear. Yeah, we've been trying.
let
Definitely.
can we pivot to this art asset that you've given me? I've posted it in the Hair AMA message chat. Am I the only other person who sees a back and a butt with a nose on it?
I feel like I was looking at that image the other day and I had to crop it because it's basically one of the NFT backgrounds. And I was trying to crop it so no one steals the whole piece and tries to make their own NFT with it.
Uh-huh.
And it just so happens that the piece that I cropped looks kind of like a butt, but
Okay, so you do see that too.
oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. People like
Yeah.
butts.
Yeah, people love a big butt with a great big nose on it and a big muscular back.
Yeah, so it's definitely yeah, maybe it has some special attraction power. So hopefully people will like that one.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. So are you the owner of Hare Finance?
Yeah, so I started Hare Finance. Let me see how long ago. I guess it was about maybe a month and a half ago. We started working on the protocol, and I have the developer. He's not here right now, but his name is Kojax, and I've
Okay.
been working with him on another project, um, which is called Passenger. I don't think some of our listeners may not have heard of Passenger, but it's a Discord bot that allows you to stake and trade by popping up a DApp window, and it also has deep links for Twitter and Reddit and things like that. So that's a whole different ball game. That project pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool and still ongoing.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
fan of Passenger as well. Do you do any developing yourself in terms of coding, or is that just for code jacks?
yeah, just for Kojax, I'm not a developer. I mean, I'm not a coder.
Right.
I actually, in real life, I own a game company and I do a lot of the artwork and design and producing, but I don't do any code myself.
Did you do the artwork for Hare?
I did. Yep.
Ah, see, you knew it was a butt. You knew the whole time, man. It's like he's smelling his
Yeah,
own
I was
butt. It's
getting the butt
amazing.
ready. Yeah, so
Well, there's a lot of butts in
I do.
nature. I mean, you look at a nectarine, right, or a peach. Come on, it's not like you invented a butt.
I didn't invent a butt, but I happened to come up with a butt for hair, so not butt hair. um, that didn't sound good.
How
But
long
anyway, let
how long have you been
yep, go ahead.
in crypto?
So I started investing in crypto probably 2017. I'd say just doing the stupid, the basic Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the altcoins.
How much was
And then I took a
Ethereum at that time?
oh geez, $300 I think.
Yeah.
I think it was around 300 when I was starting to do that. Um, I wasn't very smart back then with investing, and the market really, really took a hit. And then I took a break because uh, I put some money in, and then we had that bad year.
Sure.
It was I think it was 2018 or something, but took a little break, and then I started to get back into it with DeFi. Um, and one of my first projects in DeFi was Wonderland, and you know how that went.
Uh-huh.
So I was into a lot of those Ohm forks, and then started to get into the nodes, which didn't also go very well. The my saving grace in DeFi was Tomb, actually. Um, I got into Piggy was my first Tomb fork, and I did some other ones after that, Hermes, and then Scarab, and those all did pretty well for me. So I was kind of stoked on DeFi, and then set up the server, and that went pretty well. And then from there, the rest is history. I started the Passenger project to kind of connect with project owners to get community interaction with staking and trading with Passenger, and then other stuff that Passenger does, like look at their portfolio inside of Discord, play some games, chat bot, and a bunch of other things that it does. But after that, I actually was in a project. It was a Titano fork called Leonidas,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you've heard of that one, but
Yes.
it was another Avalanche project, and it had some very cool ideas, and I was a big supporter of it when it came out. It I thought from the beginning that what a cool project, great ideas here. Unfortunately, they have some pretty terrible artwork, and just the presentation was really bad. Um, but anyway, I got in early. I did pretty well with it, and then it just kind of got abandoned after a bit. And I was thinking, they had such good ideas. Maybe if I did a fork of this project and made it more sustainable with much lower APRs, and maybe removed some of the mechanisms that they had to um, for investors to make too much money, because they were just emptying the whole thing out really quickly. I think the APR on the LP node was like 100% daily or something like that. Some really cool ideas, but man, people are, it just got destroyed so quickly.
Did you
So
ever
at
think about
first,
going the
that my
other
idea,
way and just making it like 100% APR per minute? Did you?
I feel like I've been in some projects that have been like that in the early Tomb fork days, where you get in when the TVL is like $500 and the APR is like thousands and thousands of percent daily. And yeah, I had fun with a lot of those. But
Okay, well,
anyway, after that, yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I just want to say to audience members, I think Josh is giving out white lists for audience participation, which basically means ask questions in the chat box, and we'll ask them right away. I used to do questions at the end, but then I realized, man, when I'm in an AMA, I want my questions asked right away. I don't like to wait till the end. Some people aren't going to be here at the end because they got to get on with their day. But so yeah, if you ask a question, we'll try to get to it right away. Do you want to launch into like the basic rundown of Hare Finance and just sort of educate us and pitch it?
Oh, yep, definitely. So I guess the main draw to what Hare is its a DCA protocol. And I would say that it's the first of its kind because I've never heard of another one before. Um, how it works is an investor comes in and deposits their USDCE. It's on AVAX, and then their deposit gets broken up into 10 buys of the Hare token over 10 hours. So you're basically DCAing Hare over 10 hours, creating kind of a smooth investment on your Hare. And
Oh,
then
that's an
once
interesting
that's,
thought.
yeah, so it's different. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Well, I know I haven't seen it in another protocol,
Does that
but
mean that people would be depositing through a DApp and not buying on an exchange?
correct. So in the protocol itself, it will say deposit USDCE, and then the protocol will automatically do the buys, one buy per hour. So it'll break up your total investment into 10, which will create a lot of pressure on the token for buys.
Will people be
And
able
at the
to
same time,
buy the token from the exchange?
yep. So the token will also be able to be bought from the exchange, but it'll be a higher buy tax and sell tax. So the buy tax on the token from a DEX is like 12%, and then the sell tax is 20%, similar to how Titanos usually do their
Mm-hmm,
taxes.
sure.
And in the protocol itself, for whitelisters, they get 3%, excuse me, for deposits for the first 12 hours. That'll be the whitelist. And then normal deposits will be 6%. So
Okay.
those taxes will be broken up and saved for gas fees and then into the 10 DCA buys.
I hate to cut you off, but it was kind of rude of me. I brought Kojax up on the stage. Kojax, did you want to say hi? If not, that's cool. I know we didn't, I don't think we expected you to be here. Hey, Kojax.
Hi. Good morning. How are
Hey,
you?
man.
Thanks for
Hi.
being here.
It's okay. Actually, I thought of not being, but it's already late night here. But anyway, it's the first of the AMA which actually I'm working on, and I just wanted to listen what Josh says about.
Okay,
He's
well,
checking up
that's,
on me.
yeah, that's cool. If somebody has a question for you and you're here, maybe you can answer it. If not, well, we're just glad that you're here.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very glad to see you here, Kojax.
Yeah.
And he's been working hard on Passenger as well as Hair. So we've worked a lot together.
Um, I hate to skip ahead so much, but um, does Hare have a treasury? Is that what the taxes are going to, or is that not what's going on?
Yep. So I can do a breakdown of, because
And
I knew
just
this question would come up.
and just for the record, I have read the entire white paper, but
Oh, wow.
I've read hundreds of white papers, and sometimes get a little bit mixed up.
Sure. So the treasury, the trading fee breakdown is for buys and sells. As I said, it's 12% to buy on a DEX, 20% to sell. In the Treasury fund gets 5%. See where I wrote this down here. Marketing 4%, 3% protocol reserves, sort of like the buybacks that we plan. Oh, we have Kojaks.
No, do you want me to pitch in?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you want me to pitch in? I mean, to
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
actually, it happens like this. Actually, when the user deposits USDCE, uh, he gets a benefit of discount on taxes that is served through the farm treasury. But when he goes to the DEX, there he doesn't get the benefit of tax discounts. So there actually the taxed amount goes to tax treasury. There are two treasuries actually divided into. One is the farm treasury and one is the tax treasury. The treasury which actually accounts for the tax from the DEX is called tax treasury. All the taxes from the DEX will go to the treasury, but the amount actually which deducted from the deposits, those minimum taxes, they go to the farm treasury. And since it is very much less compared to the DEXT taxes, it is pumped back into the system using as taking it as a treasury fee.
Okay, and what are you guys going to use the treasury money for?
The tax treasury, which actually we collected from the DEX, we use it for both marketing as well as the development funds, and also for protocol reserve. And the amount which is collected through the deposits in the farm treasury gets pumped back into the protocol.
Okay, I see. So there is no so the project is Hare Finance. This is not um a means to collect money for a larger project.
No. It is not something which actually routes the money to some other thing. The amount collected stays within the finance.
But you guys are a DOS, aren't you? A DeFi as a service. You guys are planning on doing liquidity pair staking and things like that. Isn't that true?
Yeah, definitely. That will be a part of the phase two, wherein we'll be bringing in, I mean, liquidity pair forming for partners, and also uh, uh, rewarding hair tokens for liquidity provision by the user, I mean, customers.
Okay, so you guys are going to bring in experts in liquidity pair trading in phase two. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Experts, did you say?
sure. I mean, for instance, with DreamFi, which is the DeFi project that um, we're hoping to launch July 4th, we considered a lot of different options for the treasury, and we considered, for instance, ELK, AVAX, LP staking. We considered Joe AVAX. We considered lots of other DeFi protocols and many other things. But what we realized was that uh, LP staking is not passive income because if your timing is bad, you're going to get wrecked. I mean, for instance, if you had started LP staking in January and you had just left it, well, you'd be absolutely wrecked by now. The impermanent loss would have translated into an enormous loss. So it's not enough to just stake it and forget it. You have to be really on top of it. I mean, it's LP staking is basically short-term trading. It's not long-term. It's day trading. Um, at least that was the conclusion that we came to. None of us want to be a professional day trader. I mean, I did that for years, not in crypto, but in stocks, and it's man, it's a lot. It's draining. It's a young man's game. That's my
Yeah,
take.
I completely agree with you. The LP is usually a quick game. You're in and out depending on what your investment is. And for our LP, which is L2, basically L1 is our vault and L2 is the LP. It's another option for when people have claimed their hair, they'll be able to LP it and earn some more. But yes, they'll want to take advantage of the higher APRs to jump in at first, and they might want to get out earlier. We're still kind of working through the LP section because we're launching our vaults first, which is a lockup for 15, 30, 45, and 60 days, which will give you different APRs depending on your lockup period. That's just with when you deposit the USDCE, you'll have a lockup period automatically. So that's why we are allowing so many whitelists, because there, as I see it now, and as Kojak sees it, there won't be a big dump like there would be on a normal pre-sale, because everyone is locked up for a minimum of 15 days. The first dump could possibly come after 15 days, but we have our protocol reserves that are used to sort of help on the 15th day.
I see. I totally get it now. So I can't, I'm blanking on the word. I mean, there have been other protocols that have this sort of lockup period, and you're sort of playing chicken with the longer lockups have a higher APR, but you run the risk of the buying pressure um, going down during that period. Um, and these were really popular until people uh, until too many people were doing the least amount of time, right? If you had like 15, 30, or 45,
Yes, yes.
everybody would just go 15 because so
Like
many.
a miner or a staker, that's what you're talking about, or
A
a
s
baked beans fork.
Well, no, baked bean, no. So a baked beans fork is they call this a miner. Um, is different. You're not locked in, or rather, you're totally locked in. I think
Hmm.
I think a staker is what you're talking. Not an auto staker. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they did call them staker, and
Big
uh,
difference between the BNB miners and Hare Finance, because in BNB miners, whatever you have deposited is gone. So only you will get a regular daily amount or daily interest type of return on investment. Whereas in Hare Finance, is not like that. The amount is locked. Over that amount, you will get an interest, and also you will get both your deposited amount as well as the reward. You will benefit in two ways.
Yeah, so with the depositing the USDC and then picking a locking period, normally you would just be locked away. But with hair, you can actually withdraw your hair that you've DCA'd. There is a bigger penalty to avoid dumps. It's a 30% penalty to claim your hair early, basically, which is on purpose because we don't want people dumping right away. We want to keep it going and keep rewards paying out over a longer period of time before they can claim after the term is over.
Yeah, definitely. That's the point here.
what what is the ratio of money from deposits going to the liquidity pool for the token?
Right now, the liquidity pool has not yet been decided, because once the pre-deposit period is over, then we'll start with the design for L2, and at that point of time, we'll plan for liquidity pool ratio.
Gotcha. Totally get it. Okay, sorry to cut you off there, Josh. If you want to, I, I asked you to make a pitch and then I cut you off for 10 minutes. Um,
I don't even remember where you cut me off,
well,
to be
first,
honest.
first of all, what are the relevant dates? I was supposed to ask this in the
Oh,
very
okay.
beginning, but I always forget. What are the most important dates that are coming up?
So right now, we're just getting whitelists, and we're kind of building our community and our server, getting more people in there and getting them ready. In the next few weeks, we plan to finish the protocol, L1, which is the Hare Vault, or the Meadow as we're calling it. And once that is done, we're going to launch. So if you look a few weeks out, is that's what we're planning. And the whitelist period, when it starts, is just going to be a 12-hour pre-deposit. So those that are whitelisted will be getting that 3% deposit fee versus 6%. And after that, there'll be that first 15-day lockup period. And during that lockup period, we'll be working on the LP farm, the L2 basically, so that when people claim their hair after the lockup, they'll be able to LP and earn rewards there as well.
Gotcha. Tell us more about this phase two. Um, when will that come in relation to the first sort of collection of monies?
So we plan to have the L2 finished before the first claim, so that when people claim their hair after the first 15 days of lockup, they'll be able to directly put it into the LP farm. And then after that, we plan on doing some partner farms with some other projects that I've been in touch with that seem quite interested. And I guess a little alpha is that we do plan to come to other chains, because some of the projects that we're talking to are on other chains, and we don't want to exclude some of these other projects, and make some nice partnerships so that we can get our name out there and help them out at the same time.
I'm sorry, my microphone was muted. Can you disclose any of those
Whoops.
projects yet?
I can say that I can at least say who I've been talking to. Um, one of the projects, one of the projects on AVAX is Piggy that I've been talking to, and that was actually the first Tomb Fork that I was in. So I like those guys a lot, and we've been
Yeah.
talking about doing a farm with them. Another project is Titan, which is, I guess it's a Titano fork, but it has some other cross-chain utility. Talking to them as well.
Yep.
And Alto is another one I've been talking to.
Okay.
And yeah, and another one is actually Gold Mint, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to move out of ETH soon enough to be with us, but we'll see how that goes.
I'm familiar with all four of those. I'm less familiar with Piggy. I only recently saw them. I've seen that they've done some marketing recently, and I saw them. But yeah, Alto and Gold Mint and Titan. I'm familiar with all three of those.
Yeah, solid projects. And Alto, you probably have seen, has been doing extremely well lately. I'm pretty excited for those guys, and Piggy as well. They just got back to Peg. They're definitely one of the OGs as far as being original forkers of Tomb. They were one of the first, and with Scarab as well. Scarab, I would like to talk to, because I've known the Pharaoh for a bit, and the only thing is I'm not sure if we're coming to Phantom or not, depending on Phantom is just such a mess right now. I don't know if we're going to think about that or not. That's something for the future, probably.
Understood. Yeah, I mean it's a it's a big step onto another chain. You're hoping to get a lot more users, but it's a lot more work as well, and then it complicates the project from then on out. So it's a risk versus, yeah, I mean it's a big risk proposal, but when it works like a charm, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and with Phantom right now, it's so all over the place with gas, and I've had transactions stuck for literally hours. And with our protocol, that would not be a good thing. So we're going to hold off on Phantom for now, and we're focusing on AVAX first, and then BSC or BNB, and that'll be our start. And we have some other plans for our NFTs, NFT minting first, and then NFT staking after that. But we're going to take it sort of as it comes, because this is a new protocol and not a fork. There are a lot of things that we're going to be learning at first as we get going. and we're definitely taking feedback from our community and from you guys as well. We're very interested to hear what thoughts you guys have.
Another reminder to the audience, some of the people that came later, we do have whitelists to give out for audience participation. If you have any questions, please ask them in the Hare AMA channel. It's directly above the main stage at the top of our channel list.
Yeah, and I will hang out and answer questions too, and Kojaks as well.
Is is my voice still coming through loud and clear? I see that my connection is wavering to kind of a yellow.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great, great. Okay, well, tell us what the biggest challenge that Hare Finance has faced thus far.
I think I would say, at least from my perspective, I can't speak from a coding perspective, but at first we were starting with a different idea completely, and then we evolved into a new idea for the protocol. And I think with a new idea comes the biggest challenge is figuring out how this new idea can work and how all the mechanics play into each other, like with the DCAing aspect and the locking up aspect. Some of these are sort of new ideas, and what we're doing right now is figuring out how everything's going to work in the end, and starting with the basics first, which is our vault, and then moving on to the LPs, and then on to other things like the partner farms and the NFTs. So I would say the challenge is, starting a new protocol, you kind of don't know how it's going to go. And so far, we're doing pretty well. We actually have already a basic landing page set up and sort of a test DApp. You can't really use it yet, but you can see some of what we're doing. If you go to harefinance.io, you can see some of what we're doing. You click on the meadows, you'll see the vault with the different dates. These are all temporary things as we're still building this out and we're still weeks away. But if you go to deposit from the meadows, you'll be able to see the main vault page, and you can kind of get an idea or get a sense of what you need to do as an investor.
And more than that, we have added uh, dashboard for admin tools where he can control the complete operation features of the application. If you can click on the vault, audit button, you will get the admin screen. It's still a work in progress, but you can see that the features are added to cater to both customer as well as the administrator.
Yeah, he made a nice little dashboard for me to use as the admin that I can go in and check on everything and make sure everything's working well. We also, and the question hasn't been raised yet, but as far as security goes, and I know this is a question in people's minds all the time, is are we going to do KYC? Are we going to do audit? Are we going to do multi-sig and things like that?
Yeah,
Yes?
actually, we have plans for that, and we have planned for using the Open Zeppelin Defender Genesis multisig for treasury management, and we'll be implementing it when we go live.
Yeah, and as for KYC, we had planned on doing Ape o'clock for KYC, which is kind of a good double benefit because you get the KYC, but they also have the nice calendar that you can get added to for people to see your project and when to jump into your project. So that's nice.
Sure. Yeah, I don't use Ape o'clock. I uh, I used to. I used to use Ape o'clock. They have a lot of projects that are sort of, what am I trying to say here? Um, I don't know. They tend to get a lot of really good projects and a lot of really really
Not
bad
about the
projects.
good or bad. Actually, the Apo Clock is just a platform where actually the people announce their projects. even in the disclaimer, he says that it is not a, a guarantee that the projects which are announced will work forever.
Right. No,
They may
you can have your
change
project
as
listed there.
offline. So it's just a platform to announce the project. Whereas he has separate area, he has separate classification where he gives Apo clock. I mean, he does Apo clock's KYC. So it is I mean, not a certified. I mean, auditing like Certic or something else. It's a person. It's a person's KYC. It's not even Azure level KYC. It's something like even I can create a website called Kojak's O'Clock or something like that, Kojak Security, and I will provide, I will provide KYC for you, and people will come to me. It's something like that. It's something private. So we can, yeah, that's okay, no problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of different KYC companies, and the most expensive ones seem the least effective. I mean, a big deal has been made of Obsidian Finance recovering some
No,
funds from Pragma, but they haven't done it yet. This is all hype. It doesn't look like they ever will do it. I mean, perhaps I'll eat my words, and then but that's not what a KYC is for in the first place. I think
I have,
this whole thing has been
I,
sort of mystified. Um,
uh,
Go ahead,
sorry to
Kojax.
intervene.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I have not even been into crypto for even a year. I just started last October. Okay, when actually the Wonderland money, the DAO started. So from that point of time, I started in crypto and learned a lot in development rather than going into investment part, and going through all this operational functionalities and features, and how actually this Tomb folk or Titan folk or even Om folks, Olympus folks work. It seems the KYCs, auditing or certificates are of no use for anything, because if a platform like a Tomb fork wants to rug, they will definitely do it. They will not wait for any KYC.
Yeah, and I agree with Kojax here because being in Tomb Raider's server, we've seen so many projects come and go no matter what, if they're KYC audited, doxed, anything. It's, a lot of it is more hype or something that else than actually being effective, but it's used as a way to make investors feel safe. We do plan to do all of these things. I'm not sure about the doxing yet, but definitely the KYC. Um, so yeah, I mean it's hard to be safe these days, but we'll take all precautions that we can. And I want to stick around. Obviously, I have a server to run, I have passenger to run. I can't really risk
I will
uh,
give
rugging or
immediate
anything like that.
like till half an hour ago, the Swapnex IO was there, which is the arbitrate trading. I mean, provider. Till now, people were jumping into that, running into that. Okay, Swapnex. Now the Swapnex is not there. It's gone.
Yeah.
I have invested around $100 in that.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
Sorry, Kojax.
It's gone.
Oh man.
Well, we've been shopping for an audit for DreamFi, and one of the issues that I have with these audit companies um, is, okay, they do the audit, right? And then you're expected to fix any problems, make adjustments to your contract based on their recommendations. But they do not do a second audit. I mean, they want you to pay for the full audit, even though only 1% of the code has been changed. But if you think about this, it should be the code should be audited completely before launch. We saw this with unicorn nodes, right? They were audited, and then the day before launch, they changed the code, and then there was a rug pull, and it was due to this change in the code. And I asked these audit companies, why don't you provide a second audit? I mean, for free. It should be part of the original service. If we're going to make, what I'm trying to say is that the code that is deployed should be audited. And you see what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a revision of code that was audited. It should be the code that was audited. And so far, none of these none of these audit companies have agreed with me. Um, this is a problem. If uh,
Well,
in
can
my
I
mind,
jump in
sure,
to what you're
please.
saying here? Because we do audits on Tomb Raiders, and I see both sides of the story here because we do the audits ourselves. Um, so basically, what typically happens is when we get an audit, it comes in with an early revision of the contracts. So then we end up going through the whole thing. We do the whole audit, and then we give them the revisions, and then they do the small fixes, and then it's good. But then in some cases, like I don't know if you guys heard of Minecraft Finance.
Actually, I have not heard of this one. When was this?
Oh, it was like last week or something.
Oh.
But that one came in. We did the full audit. We sent them. We basically had to audit the contracts twice because they redeployed the whole thing, so we had to go through it again. And then what they ended up doing at the end, they ended up rugging by at the very end switching to another set of contracts that we didn't audit. So what's happening with a lot of these projects is that they're giving us certain contracts. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of them. This was the first time I've ever seen someone just switch it at the very end.
Oh, I've
There
seen that
there
many
are
times.
always there. I feel like there are always new ways to rug a gen pool. They're just finding more different ways. But I see it from a work perspective from our end is that if we're spending twice as much work to audit, we should get paid some more. And we wouldn't charge twice the amount, but we would charge something to, finish the audit based on a whole new set of criteria,
Yeah, but
if that makes
if
sense.
they're only implementing the changes that you recommended, then it should be complimentary and it shouldn't take twice as long. It should take 1/20th as long. I mean, the orig do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen things to say
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but
Yep.
now if they add new features and they make big
Yep.
changes, then you might have to say like, "Hey guys, like you added big new features. This is going to take us hours." Um, but yeah, in my opinion, I don't know how much you guys charge, but these audit companies do want a lot of money. And if this was an industry standard, then what happened at unicorn nodes could have never happened. The other thing is that it's possible that these contracts need to be deployed ahead of time. I mean, what are people trying to protect their intellectual property or something? It's nonsense. A contract should be deployed before and trading not yet started. Um,
I fully agree. And to me, it comes down to giving the instructions for updating the contracts, which is usually pretty minimal, and we don't ever charge for like minimal stuff like that. But when it's so screwed up that you have to completely redo almost everything, like Minecraft did, and then they rug after, that's when you get into real trouble. Because I felt so bad for our auditor because he had gone through everything, and then he was starting to find secret pools and all sorts of crazy
oh
stuff.
man.
It got really bad, and I think auditing for our server has been a great service, and we've done a lot of audits. But when you get into situations like this, it does get pretty scary, and you know I feel bad for obviously everyone that gets rugged, but at the same time we're checking the code that we're given. We're going through everything and finding. I mean, our auditors are very good. They've been through this time and time again. So yeah, it's tricky with the audits. We do plan for, going back to Hare, we do plan to get audited, and I'm not sure where exactly we're going to do it yet. I have been considering our Raiders of DeFi auditing, but there are a bunch of other ones out there. I'm
Would you
just going to look around before we do it.
would you guys consider just publishing the code and saying the code is complete, this is what we're going to deploy, and here it is for everybody to see?
With Without an audit, or
It wouldn't necessarily be with or without an audit. It would just be we think this contract is done. Maybe it has been audited, and just say, we're launching in 5 days or whatever, but here's the contract. We believe it's done, and it's open source. Everybody can see it now. I mean, is that something you would consider? Are there problems with that I'm not seeing, or?
I would leave that decision up to Kojaks if he's still awake.
Ah, I would definitely prefer not to publicize the code because this is the one of the kind protocol which actually we have developed from scratch, and don't want to make it public at this point of time unless we go live and make it a successful platform for people to invest. Okay, we must first see the consequences of the new protocol and how people receive it and how actually it goes forward. We can give this code or I mean publicize this code to the auditor if he wants to audit, but not to the whole public.
How do
That would
you, uh, is there any way to prevent the code from being seen after you deploy it?
no, we have to. I mean, we should avoid verifying the code on chain to avoid it from copying.
Oh. Let's take this question from ASB because he's waited 10 minutes now. He said, could you elaborate on this is a quote, the smart contract automatically converts the Hare rewards to USDCE, and he references the price protection section of your white paper. And his question is, are you minting new tokens or selling the tokens on the DEX? And let us know if that question is a little confusing to you guys, Josh and Kojax.
Yeah, actually, we thought of making it a dynamic protocol wherein actually we mint the tokens on demand. But after analyzing all the other protocols like Titano and the Sphere or Alto, whichever, we have seen that all their tokens, most of the tokens which failed, which rugged, they had a mint, I mean, operation built in, because of which one or the other developers out of the team minted a whole lot of coins, like which happened in Raven, and he ran away. So we don't want to put the same doubt of conflict with our token. So we decided we mint the token at once when actually the protocol starts, and put all the tokens into the treasury, and the treasury will manage it, and the treasury will be multi-sig.
ASB, um, if you want to follow that up in the chat. Um, did you want to add anything, Josh?
Um, sorry, one sec. I just stood up,
That's okay.
walked away from my computer.
Let's go to Nemover until ASB. I see ASB is typing. Nemover says, once the contract is initiated, do we have any say on what is repurchased, staking time, or is this done for us?
I can answer that one.
Okay.
So with well, first of all, I'm trying to understand his question.
Yeah.
But once the contract is initiated, once the user deposits, it will automatically be buying the hair token every hour for 10 hours, and the deposit will go into the treasury, and the staking time will be default. And Kojax, let me know. I believe the default was 60 days, or was it 15 days for the lockup before you choose?
No, the user can choose different lockup times, because we have developed it such a way that user can select whichever deposit lock time he wants on the dashboard, and he has to click on the deposit. He will go to the particular page where he can deposit. Each of the deposit screens are different for I mean each locking period. So there is no default. I mean, we are not deciding anything. We will leave the customer or the user to select, do on his own.
Right. So the user will be able to select the staking time.
Yeah.
Um, does that answer your question, Nemover? And then ASB says, will this not counteract to the DCA? I think that the DCA um, is a way for you to get lower fees when you buy in. Um, and they're not going to be
Lower
minting.
fees and less pumps and dumps. It's more of a smooth buy on the token.
Yeah, and there's no way to mint new USDC.E. Um, I guess what he's asking, The smart contract automatically converts the hair. Yeah, they don't need to mint new tokens because that was going to dilute the liquidity pool twice, right? Just selling the tokens is enough. Is that make sense, Josh?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in other words, they're not going to mint new tokens, but they are going to are now you guys are going to sell this right on the DEX, correct? To get the USDC?
Yeah, you can. We are. You mean for the auto buys, right?
No, for the rewards from the staking.
No, whatever the hair token left over in the treasury at the end of, time period, or the user unclaimed hair rewards will be burned. It will not be sold on the DEX or with the liquid or exchange with the liquidity, because it will create, I mean, pump and dump situation, and it will create panic in the users, because as a platform managers, we should not be touching the liquidity pool, which we lock it up for the use of the customers.
Does that answer your question?
Which one was the?
I was hoping
Was
to,
that Nemover?
yeah, that was Nemover's question.
Okay, I'm looking at the. Will it not counteract the DCA? And I'm trying to understand what that means. I'm not sure which part he means by, or whoever means by counteracting it.
He says, so they have to sell to convert USDCE. Yeah. Uh, do you want to go ahead and follow that up, Josh? Because I think I understand the answer, but I'm not sure I understand the question, if that makes sense.
I'm trying to understand the question myself
Yeah, actually,
because
I got it.
Kojax maybe understands that one.
What actually Mr. ASB is trying to say is, once the period is over, you will get both the USDC claims as well as hair rewards. So he is supposed to sell it on the DEX. On the DEX or swap platform, he has to convert it to USDC himself. Because as a matter of fact, we are not going to convert the rewarded hair into USDC within the protocol.
Does that answer your question, Nemover? Josh, did you just get a DM from me?
Let me see. One sec.
I'm just making sure.
Yep, I do see it.
Okay,
Yep.
I think Josh is gonna take Lavar's question, and ASB, if you still have questions, just please just keep asking.
Yep. So let's see. Where's Lavar's question? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. On the topic of deploying the code, is there deployed proxy contrast per seamless right? Is something that would solve your problem protecting your code? I mean, I think this is, like any other protocol. We are testing with testnet. We're going to be doing a lot of testing, and then at the end, we'll have our regular pre-launch, and then it's going to be similar to others. I think Caraway's question was, do we want to publish the code early? And Kojak's answer to that was no, because this is a new protocol. We don't want people to steal, this idea before we even launch our own new protocol. So I don't know if that answers your question, LeVar Burton. But, we want to be careful because this is a new protocol. It's not been done before. We don't want to release it too early. We don't mind if people fork it after the fact. That's completely fine. But, as it goes right now, we're launching this for the first time and it's brand new. So we need to take some precaution there. Does that make sense, Kojax?
No, actually, what Mr. Burton is planning to say here is something not related to protecting our code, but it is related to seamless migration. Whatever he's mentioning will not protect the code, but it is only for upgrading purpose. Say, for example, if I have some problem in the hair contract, I mean the token contract, and I want to fix it. I want to fix some 5 6 lines of code. If I deploy it again, the contract address will change, and again I need to change all the way in all the I mean the complete DApp instead of and the people who have already bought the token will lose the connection with the new token unless we do an airdrop to the new I mean the old users. So this proxy contract helps seamless migration in the way by upgrading the contract using a proxy upgrade contract. So that will create another link to the new Hare contract, which will provide the same operation as the earlier deployed contract, along with the upgraded features. So this is a separate feature altogether. This is not related to protecting our code.
Good
Oh,
answer.
okay. Got it. Are you back?
Yes, indeed. Um,
That was quick. Nice job.
thanks. Um,
He's quick, folks.
no. Okay.
All right. Yeah, let's see. Where do we go next from here? I think
How are you?
probably future plans or
Well, let me just ask. Let me ask. What are your plans for compensating yourself and the team?
yeah, so we have I wrote this down actually because I know this question would come up, but we have we have the treasury fund, we have marketing, we have protocol reserves. We will be taking a portion of the treasury to use to pay myself and Kojak's. That's let's see. I believe we have 15% allocated for the treasury, and we were thinking around 6 to 7% for the team to continue to develop and refine the protocol with all the different layers that we plan on adding. And the rest would go for marketing and then the protocol reserves or buybacks. Um, Marketing is obviously costs a lot of money. You guys actually give away AMAs for free, which is really nice, and we very much appreciate that. But some of the AMAs do cost a lot of money, and then YouTube videos, Twitter campaigns, Telegram. You can spend tons of money on that. So we definitely did make a sizable allocation for marketing as well.
Oh yeah, the yeah, marketing is extremely expensive, especially if you're not creative and you're just sort of taking every offer that you get. I mean, some of these people want like $5,000, and it's like,
Oh yeah, for
and
the YouTube
it's
videos. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like you're gonna spend maybe 6 or 7 hours making a video. But is that going to translate into more than $5,000 coming in? And man, roll the dice because it is very, very difficult to say. And uh, boy, it's a tricky subject, isn't it? And we had a project um, that is paying for guerrilla marketing. They have contacted a group that is international, and the group is going to print flyers and put them on telephone poles and car windows in big cities. And I can't wait to see if that translates to any influx of members. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that's a great idea. I don't know how much it's going to cost, and it'd be interesting to see what the conversion rate there is.
The conversion rate has to be 0.0000001% for that.
Because I have seen of the DAOs, like Om folks and Tum folks have done such type of mimicry by putting, I mean, the posters on, I mean, what is it, New York towers and all, and so on, putting on TVs, televisions, and all. So it doesn't work out like that way because people need to trust you before they come to you.
Well, they have to hear about you too, right?
Yeah, they have to hear about you, but the people who are already in the crypto, who trust us, will make our life easier because people outside the crypto world, even if they see that, they will not get into that because they are most scared about crypto right now.
Well, that's a good point. There's a lot of fear in the space right now, but I wouldn't count this kind of marketing out. I wouldn't count any marketing out because Like we talked about with the YouTubers, it really is a roll of the dice. I mean, if you're going to spend $5,000 on a video, boy, I mean, uh,
The reason I
it's
think
really
that
hard to
that sort of
justify.
guerrilla marketing,
Yeah.
the reason that I don't think that sort of guerrilla marketing works well is because it's not targeted to an audience. It's like the general audience of anyone.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure.
Whether it is ape marketing, gorilla marketing, or chimpanzee marketing, whatever it may be, unless otherwise you have a trusted YouTuber who promotes your finance or folk or platform, nobody will pitch in. Like there are several people who do it for a referral fee. I don't want to quote their names here, but they gain hefty amount of referral fee from other miners and what is that baked beans folks and all different this one monarch apes. So those people will keep on creating Discord servers and creating referrals and fooling people, but people will never come to such I mean new unique platform where actually they can definitely make a regular income, because they don't trust us, they only trust those fools.
Yeah, there is a psychological thing where if somebody has enough followers, people just
To
trust
actually
them for some reason.
Yeah, and as you said, with each video that comes out, it is a roll of the dice that a certain percentage will invest, and as they publish more videos, that percentage probably goes down as it's just getting more and more saturated. But I'd like to move on from this part of the chat, if you don't mind, because that's just when we get into marketing and whatnot. But one
That's
thing that we're doing,
that's too bad. Marketing
if
is
you
a
don't,
really interesting discussion, but yeah, please take us to the next destination.
I'm going to take you guys to the next level. um, yeah, no, marketing is huge. Obviously, I have a whole list of all the different things that we're doing that I've been compiling, and budgets and all those things. And as I run a server, I know how it works. So, but moving on to the next thing, we didn't mention this before, but we do have a relief fund from some of these rugged projects. I don't know if you've been to our server, Caraway.
What, the Discord server? Of course I have.
The Hare Finance, not the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, yeah, I've been to here.
Okay. Well, we have a relief section. We have Leonidas relief, Pragma relief, and Caesar relief. Leonidas wasn't really a rug, but it was a abandoned project, and that was the one I was speaking about earlier. We are doing small airdrops for people that were in there, and that filled up very quickly. So we're ending the airdrop section, but we are doing whitelist for any of people that were caught up in these rugs. So if you head over to our server, and I think I can link it, or I have already done so. I'm going to do it again, just so you have it. You'll see a relief section if anyone was in any of those projects, and we're totally open to having more for our whitelist. Maybe some people in your server were in any of those projects and did get rugged, maybe Pragma because that was a bigger one.
Yeah.
So if you head over there, you can get your whitelist. All you have to do is prove that you had some Pragma.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be a big amount or anything like that, but
So
we're happy to have
I'm just gonna
that.
type this out. If you can prove that you held uh, Pragma, Leonidas, and what was the other one?
The other one was Caesar, another Titano fork.
Or Caesar, and basically you can just get a whitelist from Hare as sort of a
Yeah, just instant whitelist. Yep.
you can receive instant whitelist over at Hare Finance. Should they open a ticket?
No, because we don't have a ticket system set up yet. They have to go into. Let me go in here. They have to go into those relief sections, which are under info, and then just post their. They don't have to put their wallet or anything. All they have to do is like a screenshot of their holding. And later we're going to collect wallets from a form to do the whitelist and the airdrops. And we're fully open to any other rug projects you might have in mind for our whitelist. So if you guys have any ideas, we're totally open to it as well.
I'm just typing this out for everybody for posterity.
Sure. There have been a lot lately, so there's probably no shortage.
Maya Genetics says Paul Stow. He laughed. Okay, so Nimover says, I take it the separate 60-day vaults on the websites is WIP,
Oh,
and
yeah. Yes, it is.
and the top one is supposed to be 15 days. Is when can we start
Correct.
deposits? When
Correct.
does it go live?
So this is going to a few weeks out still. We're finalizing the details. So all the stuff that you see on the harefinance .io .netleafy.app is still, we're just testing things right now. So none of this is totally final yet, but you can kind of get an idea of where we're going. We're definitely a few weeks out though.
Awesome. Okay, so there's a few weeks out, but go to their Discord, follow their announcements, and you won't miss it, right?
Yep. Yep. You just pay attention in there, and then obviously in Raiders of DeFi, I'll be posting some updates there as well.
Let's
And I'll
talk
stay in
about
your hangout in your Discord too.
let's talk about politics. Who did you vote for in 2016? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, lordy lord.
what religion are you? What denomination? And how do you feel about the current pope? No, let's
Oh
skip all
my
these
lord.
questions. I think I think if you guys want to say a few words in closing, it's about that time to land the plane, and this is also a last. Well, first, let me say for people who ask questions in the chat, how can they go about getting whitelist? Do you want them to DM you?
Yeah, and in fact, looking at the chat here, and I would just say basically anyone who asked the question can have a whitelist.
Yeah.
I'll just give them a whitelist.
Do you want to
So
give some
so they
whitelists
they can DM me.
for Fear versus Greed members? Um, maybe like 5 or something like that. That just so I can.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. Sure.
okay, great. So if you're a member of Fear
Yep,
versus
so I'll just
Greed,
DM you and yep.
and so you want these people to DM you, is that correct? Or
Yeah, that's fine. They can DM me. And then they will have to come into our server though, actually.
yeah.
So I can give them the role, the list role, because that's how we'll be keeping track of everyone. So actually, if they just come into our server and say we came here from Fear and Greed, I will give them the whitelist role.
Awesome. I'll make that announcement now.
Great. So yeah, in closing, we're very excited because this is Hare Finance is definitely the first of its kind. It's a DCA protocol, and we haven't seen anything like it. We're excited to bring it out there to everyone. In a few more weeks, we need to finish it all up, and we'll be hanging out with your community and our community, and we're just very excited about this new protocol because it's not a fork, and it's a new thing, and new things are always interesting to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how it goes. I can't wait to see the launch and see what the chart looks like with the DCA feature. Hey, here's an off-topic question. You're a guy who receives a lot of DMs. When you get a DM and it's a person that you don't know and it's just them waving at you, what do you do?
Do I instantly block them? Um, it depends. It depends on how detailed their message is and how well they speak. I guess
No message, just a
just
wave.
just the just the wave. I probably won't respond
Yeah.
unless they give me a specific question, or if they say like GM or hello, how are you? Probably will not respond to that.
Yeah,
They
I
have to
wish.
tell me something specific that I would be interested in for me to respond.
So I had a learning curve where at first I was like, I responded to everybody, and then I realized it's like they're all scammers. Let's bring ASB on the stage, and then I started. I was sort of not nice to a few people, but then of course Murphy's Law. One of the people I was not nice to was just new to the space. They were just naive. They weren't a scammer. They just didn't understand that saying saying hi is like what scammers do, so they didn't realize. So yeah, but I would say it's something like 47 out of 50 are just straight up scams. Um,
For the DMs, yeah, I wake up to like a dozen DMs that
yeah,
are mostly scams every day. So, and I'm sure you do too.
absolutely. ASB, did you want to? Thanks for coming onto the stage. Did you want to ask a question?
Yes, sir. So actually, I asked for Jax for if he understand Hindi. Actually, my English is not very well, right? It's not my first language, so I might need a help of Codex to translate something, if you could. Uh, the thing is, actually, I was looking at the white paper. They're saying passive income, and here they are mentioning is to start earning, you need to deposit USDCE, and you will receive USDCE as rewards daily, as well as your hair tokens from the Autoboy. Uh, I'm not able to understand this specific. I'm getting here as 1% daily. That is what the website is saying, right?
Yes, that is
Hello.
correct.
Okay.
It's well, it
So,
depends on your lockup period. It goes from I believe 1% to 1.8%.
okay. So next, actually, it is a follow-up to this that there is a price protection section. It says maintaining token price stability with the DCA buys every hour, and every hour the smart contract automatically converts the hair rewards to USDC.E. So I'm getting hair, right? And the smart contract is converting hair rewards to USDC. I'm not getting that also. So that is why I'm actually at speak up.
Kojax, do you want to respond to that one?
Yeah, actually, it's a small typo in that. It is not converting hair rewards into USDC, but USDC deposit into hair. Because
All right.
when you say auto DCA, dollar, uh, I mean DCA, what happens is whatever the user has deposited USDC, every hour it is converted. I mean, 1/10 of the deposit is converted into hair, and it is applied to the user's I mean, what is that investment?
So it is the other way around. That is automatic converts the USDC to hair reward. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah,
All right. Thank you.
yeah. There was a typo. I think that's what people got misunderstood there and got confused.
All right.
Yeah, we have the I guess you might call it the white paper is still needs some updates. It's preliminary as we are finishing things up, so I have to go back through everything again. And the protocol has been through so many changes at this point that I do need to go back through everything and fix some of the typos. But generally speaking, the white paper is the best place to look for all the information, unless you want to ask me or Kojax.
ASB, did you want to follow that up? He's typing. All right.
Okay.
He said thanks for clearing that up. Um, if there's no more questions, I think that this was a good AMA. Don't you think so, Josh? Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, fantastic. And I love to hear your very smooth sounding voice. Very refreshing. Yeah, no,
Thank
it was
you.
great. I'm happy to come here, and I'm happy that you guys invited us, and we're very excited about the launch. And come into our server, check it out. We'll be posting updates and some tasty treats and whatnot. So, yeah, thanks again.
Thank you for being here, Code Jacks, as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Carway.
And
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah,
Inviting the
thanks,
one
Kojak. Thanks
and
for
to
hanging out too.
he said, are you
actually.
recording this? Yes, Monkey, I am recording it. I'll post the link here in the AMA chat as soon as the AMA is over. I mean, within minutes, I'll post the link, and then you'll probably have to wait a couple hours for YouTube to process everything. But I'll also give it to Josh. Yeah, okay. Sorry to cut you off, Kojaks.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's okay, no problem. Actually, I didn't plan to join this, but since this was Josh's first, AMA the fresh protocol what we are building. I wanted to get into that so that I can also pitch in where actually there have been some typos in the white paper, and there will be some people who will be asking technical questions which actually Josh may not be aware of what is going on within the contract, because I have been developing that every day. So I know that the in and out of the contract. So I can pitch in and answer those questions.
Yeah, appreciate that, Kojax. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nemover. Nemover has also thanked you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Nemover.
All right, I guess this is the super duper last call for questions or for anybody to come on stage. And if we don't see anything in about 5 seconds, we'll go ahead and land this plane. I'll get the YouTube link out to Josh and post it here in the chat. And hey, we'll put another one in the books, right, guys?
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.